Hi, you've just decided to sit down and do a sound meditation with Kassandra Prus, Therapeutic yoga teacher. Welcome. So you can either do this meditation lying down or in a comfortable seat. So if you're lying down, you can do it on a bed, on the floor, on a couch. But as much as you can, finding a place that you can be fairly symmetrical. So you might bring a little bit of support underneath your head so that your chin can stay tucked. You might bring a pillow or bolster underneath your knees. And finding your arms fairly symmetrical, whether they're resting on your belly, on the bed, or the floor next to you. You might cover yourself with a blanket. If you're in a seat, you can choose to do this in a chair, on the edge of a couch or bed, or with any props, meditation cushions, or seats underneath you. And as you start to get settled, you want to feel both sides of your your sit bones connecting down into whatever you're sitting on. So you might shift your weight a little side to side, front and back a little bit until you find yourself equally weighted on both sides. And you're looking for a natural curve in your low back. So if you're feeling your low back is pressing back into the chair or whatever it is that might be behind you, you can pick your bum up, shift the hips back, sort of get your bum out of the way, and then you'll notice you might begin to find a slight curve forward in your low back. Then you can think about lengthening up through the back of your neck so your chin slightly tucks. And seeing as much as you can if you can allow your belly, your ribs, your arms and shoulders just to start to get heavy. And whether you're lying down or seated here, getting out any last little wiggles or shimmies you need to get comfortable and stable. We'll be here for about 10 to 15 minutes. So preparing yourself, taking any last adjustments you need to make yourself comfortable enough to be still for that amount of time. And once you've found that, you can take 3 nice deep breaths here to settle into the present moment, into your body. So as you inhale, you can breathe through your nose, fill your lungs in 3 dimensions. Exhaling, maybe sighing out your mouth. Softening your jaw. 2 more nice big breaths. Allowing your forehead to soften. 1 more. Allowing the shoulders and arms to be nice and heavy. Once you've invited some softness into your face, shoulders, jaw, torso, hips and legs, you can begin the formal part of the meditation. And so we're going to start here by noticing sounds that are the furthest away from us, so as far away as we can listen. Now, in a city, there's often many, many sounds around us. And wherever it is you might be, you would probably be listening to sounds outside of whatever building you're in. So maybe you're noticing sounds of the street, traffic, construction, perhaps people talking on the street if you're at street level, children laughing, a schoolyard. What is it that you can hear outside, whatever building it is that you're in? And you're going to listen to those sounds outside the building, far away sounds, as much as you can, as clearly as you can, just like you might focus on a single person's voice in a loud bar. So how Do you train your mind onto that one voice, that one person, that conversation? And seeing if you can bring that same attention, that same focus to these sounds you might be hearing outside the room. So you're going to continue with that focus for the next few minutes until you hear the sound of the bell. If you're finding it challenging to focus, just imagine that whatever sounds you're hearing are the most interesting conversation you've heard in a while. And though it might be a little bit quiet, maybe not so quiet that you're really, really attending, you really want to know what's being said. And just a few more moments here, focusing on only the sounds far away. So you can allow the sounds far away from you to fade away a little bit, or the focus on those sounds, I should say. You can start to bring your attention a little bit closer to you. So if you are in a place where there is multiple rooms, you might start to notice the sounds just within the building that you're in. Or if there's only one room here, you might just bring the attention to the sounds in the building, in the room that you're in particularly. And these might be sounds perhaps of a clock or a ventilation system. Maybe there's a roommate or other staff, co-workers around. A fridge running. What sounds can you hear inside the building that you're in? I'm trying to focus on those sounds above the sounds outside the room. So again, just like you were focusing on a super interesting conversation, you only want to hear those inside sounds, that inside, say, voice, that inside person over the outside voice or those outside sounds. So you're going to continue focusing on those sounds inside the building for the next few moments, again, until you hear the sound of the bell. and attending to the sounds inside the building over sounds you might be hearing outside the room, outside the building. If your mind is wandering, just really gently, kindly, softly, bringing it back to the focus that you're choosing. Sounds inside the building, inside the room you're in. I'm going to keep focusing closer and closer in now, and coming to pay attention to the sound of your own breath over the sounds of any noises in the space that you're in or outside the room. You're going to invite your mind to focus on the sound of your own breath. Again, as though it was the most interesting conversation in the room. You're inviting your mind to focus on the sound of your breath over any other sounds you might hear. You're going to continue that focus again until the sound of the bell. And if you notice at any point your mind wants to wander, trying not to get upset with yourself, self-flagellate in any way. The work here is not to get it perfect. The work is to begin to shift how you respond to yourself when your mind does wander. So can you, if you do notice yourself wandering, bring yourself back in a kind and gentle way, just like you might speak to or guide a young child, or even perhaps a young pet that you're trying to train? Can you speak to yourself with kindness as opposed to with harsh criticism? Focusing here again on your breath over the sounds of any other sounds around you in the room or outside the building until you hear the sound of the bell. So again, if your mind is wander, really gently and kindly bringing it back to the sound of your own breath over any other sounds. Your breath is the most interesting conversation you've heard in a long time. Hear the breath in, hear the breath out. You can transition out of your sound meditation here by taking a few deeper breaths. And in your own time, as you feel ready, you can begin to softly open your eyes and bring back some gentle movements. Maybe take a long stretch. Or if you feel like you'd like to continue this meditation, you can always pause the recording and continue to your heart's content. Thank you so much for choosing to meditate today with me. And good luck with your meditations going forward.